And it was while I was working on this project that I encountered stained glass up close for the very first time and really fell in love with this medium. I wasn't too keen on the traditional stained glass windows, and so I began experimenting with glass and eventually found my own voice. And within a year or two, I had begun to create larger scale works and show in galleries. And just keep in mind, this is not something that I started out planning to do. As I said, I stumbled across it, but was drawn in more and more. But the more I created, I also felt that there was something missing. And for me, that missing element was a sense of authenticity. I think with most visual artists, at least, there's always this tension between creating work for the wallet and creating work for the soul. And at times, the wallet wins over and you just create for the sake of earning more and more money. And in my case, that was true as well. But there was also that emptiness. And so, a little over 2.5 years ago, I felt that I needed to put an end to that and do something that was a lot more authentic and meaningful for me. And so it was that my primary inspiration was my late mother, a wonderful African woman who was really dedicated to us, her children, in the face of many, many struggles. And so my very first mosaic portrait of an African woman was to honor my late mother, who was born in South Africa, but moved to Zimbabwe. And it was a very fulfilling mosaic. My intention was not to sell it, it was just to fulfill the longing for purpose and beauty. Well, it did eventually sell, and I've since embarked on another portrait, which I finished probably about 3 months ago, and it's this one. And these portraits are about 4 feet tall, and they typically take anywhere from 250 hours to 400 hours to complete. And they have over 3,500 little tiny pieces of glass. So it just gives you an idea of the time investment and the scale. And in honoring African women, what's really meaningful for me is that in my experience on the continent is that African women in general are overlooked, undervalued, undermined at times, and if you've been following the news, wherever there are civil wars, unfortunately end up being targeted with horrendous atrocities. And so both these portraits are titled African Woman, Africa's True Wealth. For me, when I look at Africa, I don't think the truest wealth of Africa lies in its diamonds, its gold, its natural resources. I think it lies in its human resources, and in particular, its women and young girls. And so I want to honor women by continuing to create these portraits, which for me highlight their beauty, their sense of inner and quiet strength and resilience. So, in a nutshell, that's the inspiration for me, and that's where I'm at with my mosaic art. And so I will open it up for questions from you, but also from Mr. Davenport.
Any questions? Jump in.